Notice these sills are now all painted with a protective coat of stain, which is the same color as the original. There are a lot of holes in it because the wiring was nailed to all of these sills that ran along through here and then across back through here. And we pulled every one of those nails out. They were just large-headed shingle nails around, but just ordinary roofing nails, no screws or anything like that, through leather straps fastened here. And then there was some, on the single wires, there were little brass straps. Well, we saved all the brass straps because they don't make them anymore, and we'll be able to use them when we rerun the wires. We took all the wires out completely so we could properly paint this, and then we will put them back in the same roof, but they'll be a lot neater than they were when we started. We're behind the coupler, and the coupler is mounted in, fastened onto the car in two ways. Up above is this rod, which runs from one end of the locomotive to the other. It's 1 inch, inch and an eighth rod, inch and a quarter rod, I should say, with nuts on either end. And then down below, we have these two brackets. And notice how it's braced up in here to the bottom of the sill, number 4 and 5. The double sill close together because this is where you get the most strain on the car. And one end is bent up here and the other is bent down, and then this is a bolt, a big square-headed old-fashioned bolt that went out through the front and had a nut on it that held the bottom of the coupler on. So the coupler, and then it bolts up through the sill fastened on the top. It's well fastened, very solid. 100 is a pilot, or otherwise known as a cow catch, and it's fastened on to this brace here. There's one here, and we saw one being made earlier, and that's on the other corner. There's a piece of wood that bolts right on here, and then there's another angle iron that comes out here that holds the bottom, and it comes out here. There's actually a board that you can stand on. This one is different from all the others. It's 1 1/8 inches thick by 6 inches wide, a mighty solid piece of steel. The others are narrower and a little bit thinner. I don't know what happened when this pilot hit something, because I would think it would tend to tear this whole thing off. It's fastened by 2 bolts going up through, and then the pilot, the wood on here and so forth, and there's more wood that goes on here, but we'll see that later when the pilots are actually finished this summer. Well, that's it. There's a small problem. I don't know whether you noticed that or not. It's going to leak a little bit. This is the end of the train line, where it will then couple onto another car. When the locomotive is running by itself, the valve is shut off, no air can come out here. But when you couple onto a train, you have this hose with what they call a glad hand on the end, and then the next car would have a similar one that would couple to that. So that's screwed onto here, and this is what helps give you brakes in all the cars. Now, I don't know how much they use these, because the runs were very short that they made, and they were coupling up and so forth, and the crew probably got lazy. But having said that, if they were pulling a number of heavy cars, they could, if you didn't have brakes in every car and were going up any kind of a grade or down any kind of a grade and try to stop, they could just slide the locomotive right along, because it doesn't have any weights in it the way some locomotives might.